You are too funny this morning, my friend. It is this good food scent. The stew is fresh, just like you like it. It smells amazing, Abimbola.
Look at you, standing there with no shame. Do you think this is a joke? You will leave my son alone or regret the day you met him.
You are nobody. The words landed like a slap across the face of a sleeping woman. You hear me? Nobody. Ethan left you here because he was done with you. The money he sends? That is for this family, not for a stray he picked up from the roadside. Ethan's mother stood in the middle of the sitting room, arms folded, chin lifted. Behind her, his sister leaned against the doorframe, wearing a dress that cost more than Zara had eaten in the past 2 weeks. Zara did not move. She stood barefoot on the cold floor, her hands at her sides, her face completely still. Not because she felt nothing, but because she had learned, the hard way, over many painful months, that tears only fed them. So she swallowed everything, every word, every insult, every hunger pang she had smiled through while they ate. She swallowed it all and said nothing. But inside, deep inside where no one could reach, something was still burning. Remember this moment. She would. Hello, family. Welcome back. Before this story goes any further, I want to pause and ask you something from the heart. If these stories have ever made you feel something real, if they have ever kept you company on a quiet night or reminded you that you are not alone, please subscribe to this channel. Now, let's go back to the beginning. Because Zara was not always this quiet. There was a time, not so long ago, when her laugh was the loudest thing in any room she entered.
You are too funny this morning, my friend. It is this good food scent.
When she would argue back, push back, refuse to be pushed around. That was the Zara who ran a small food stall at the edge of a busy road, rising before the sun every single morning to cook for strangers, because cooking was the one thing life had not taken from her yet. That was the Zara who fell in love with Ethan. He had come to her stall on a Tuesday, hungry, late for work, digging through his pockets for coins he clearly did not have enough of. She had watched him count and recount, watched his jaw tighten with quiet shame, and before he could say a word, she had wrapped the food and pushed it toward him. "Pay me tomorrow," she said simply. He looked up. Their eyes met. He paid her the next day, and the day after that, he came back not because he was hungry, but because of her. Their love did not begin with grand gestures. It began with small, honest ones. Him showing up, her making room. Two people with very little, choosing each other anyway. They lived in a single room at the end of a narrow compound. The walls had cracks that let in cold air at night. The roof rattled when the wind blew hard. But Ethan had a dream. A few streets away, on a plot of land he had saved for quietly, he was building a house, brick by brick, week by week, for the two of them. He would take her there sometimes, just to stand in front of it. "One day," he would say. "One day," she would repeat, and she meant it completely. Then one morning, Ethan left for work and came back a different man. Not louder, not angry, just quieter, like something inside him had been turned down. She noticed immediately. She always noticed. But when she asked, he said, "I'm fine." He was not fine, and whatever had broken in him that day was only the beginning of everything that was about to break. The lie had a shape. Zara could feel it in the room every morning. It sat between them at the small table where they ate. It followed Ethan to the door when he left, dressed in his neatly ironed shirt, shoes worn but clean, walking out like a man going somewhere important. He was not going anywhere important. She did not know that yet. What she knew was this: his laugh had gone quiet. His appetite had shrunk. At night, he would lie beside her, eyes open, staring at the ceiling like it owed him an answer. She would reach over and rest her hand on his chest, and he would cover it with his own. But he would not speak. So she waited. She cooked. She worked. She smiled at customers who had no idea that the woman serving them food with steady hands was carrying something heavy and unnamed. 2 weeks passed like that. Then one afternoon, between customers, Zara walked to the construction company where Ethan worked. She was not suspicious, not exactly. She simply missed him in a way she could not explain, and she thought maybe if she brought him lunch, just once, it would crack something open between them. The man at the gate looked at her strangely. "Ethan," he repeated. "Yes," she said. "He works here. I'm his wife." A pause. The kind of pause that changes things. "He doesn't work here anymore," the man said quietly. "They let him go. About 2 weeks ago." The ground did not move. The sky did not fall. But something inside Zara shifted permanently, the way a bone moves when it breaks clean. 2 weeks. 2 weeks of ironed shirts. 2 weeks of I'm fine. 2 weeks of watching him walk out the door to nowhere while she believed in him completely. She went home and she waited. When Ethan walked in that evening, she was sitting inside. Not outside where she usually waited. Inside. Still. Watching the door. He saw her face and he froze. "Sit down," she said. Her voice was calm. Completely calm. And that frightened him more than anger would have. He sat. "When were you going to tell me?" she asked. He said nothing. "Ethan." Her voice broke, just slightly, just at the edge. "I am your wife." "I know," he said. His voice was rough, low, ashamed. "Then why?" She leaned forward. "Why would you carry this alone? Why would you let me believe everything was fine when you were?" She stopped. Swallowed. "When you were disappearing right in front of me?" He looked away. His jaw was tight. "Because I'm supposed to take care of you," he said. "I'm supposed to provide. And I can't even do that. So instead you lied to me." The word landed hard. He didn't deny it. Dinner was silent that night. And the night after. And the one after that. Ethan stopped pretending to leave for work. He stopped going out at all. He would sit for hours, on the bed, outside on the step, just sitting, staring at something only he could see. The man who once talked about the future with fire in his voice now had nothing to say. Zara watched him fade. She tried everything she knew. Gentle words. Encouragement. Sitting beside him in the silence, just so he wouldn't be alone in it. But grief and shame are stubborn things. They don't move just because someone loves you. One evening she walked past the unfinished house. She stood in front of it for a long time. The half-built walls. The exposed beams. The dream paused mid-breath. Then she turned and walked back home, and she made a decision. If one of them was sinking, the other would swim. And she would swim hard enough for both. She began working longer hours. Taking more orders. Saving differently. Not just coins at the end of the day, but deliberately, secretly, with a purpose she had not yet spoken aloud. Because an idea had found her. And it was either the bravest thing she had ever considered, or the most terrifying. Possibly both. If you haven't subscribed yet, I want you to know, every story we tell here is for someone who needs it. Someone sitting alone tonight, carrying something heavy, wondering if things will ever turn. Your subscription keeps these stories going. She had already started. That was the thing Ethan would never fully understand, not at first. By the time Zara sat beside him that night and said the word America, she had not just been thinking about it. She had been building toward it for weeks. Quietly, carefully, the way she did everything. The extra savings were real. The contact she had found, a man from the neighborhood who had made the journey 3 years before and come back twice to visit, was real. The conversations she had with him in hushed tones while Ethan slept were real. She had already asked the questions, already learned the costs, already begun to understand what it would take. What it would take was everything. She knew that. She had accepted it before she said a single word. That night, she sat beside Ethan on the edge of the bed and let the silence settle before she spoke. "There's something I've been thinking about," she said softly. He didn't turn. I think you should travel." A pause. "America." The word hit the room like a stone dropped in still water. Ethan turned his head slowly. His eyes searched her face for something, a sign that she was joking, that she was testing him, that she had not just said what she said. "America," he repeated. "Yes." He almost laughed. "Almost. Zara, we can barely eat. I have no job. No savings. You're talking about—" "I know what I'm talking about," she said quietly. Something in her voice made him stop. "I've already spoken to someone," she continued. "I know what the process looks like. I know what it costs." She met his eyes. "And I know how we'll do it." Ethan stared at her. "How?" She reached under the mattress and pulled out a small cloth pouch. She placed it on the bed between them. He opened it slowly. Inside, money. More than he expected. Far more than made sense given what he knew of their finances. "Zara." His voice changed. "Where did this come from?" She was quiet for a moment. Then, "I sold the land." Everything stopped. The land. The small piece of inherited earth her mother had left her. The only thing in this world that had ever belonged to Zara alone. The thing she had once told him, early in their love, that she would never part with. "You sold," he couldn't finish. "Don't," she said gently. "Don't look at me like that. It was land, Ethan. It was sitting there. You are here. You are more." His eyes were wet. He turned away quickly, the way proud men do when they don't want to be seen breaking. "I can't let you do this," he said. "You can't stop me," she replied. Not cruelly, just honestly. The weeks that followed were the hardest of Zara's life, and also, strangely, some of the most alive she had ever felt. There was a purpose now, a direction, something to move toward. She worked until her hands ached. She skipped meals without telling him. She smiled through hunger, through exhaustion, through the fear that visited her in the dark hours before dawn when she would lie awake calculating, recalculating, praying. Ethan watched her, and slowly, something in him cracked open. One evening he came to her stall and sat across from her while she worked. He didn't say anything for a long time. Then he said, "You really believe in me?" "I always have," she replied without looking up. "Even now? After everything?" She looked up then, straight at him. Especially now. He broke completely. Quietly. The way a man breaks when someone sees him at his worst and refuses to look away. The day he left arrived too quickly. The morning was gray and soft. They stood outside the compound, his single bag at his feet, neither of them wanting to be the first to speak. He pulled her close, held her the way a man holds something he is terrified of losing. "I'll come back for you," he said against her hair. "I promise you. I will come back." Zara closed her eyes. She believed him. That was the thing about Zara, she always believed him, even when she should have been afraid. If you haven't joined our family yet, please subscribe now. These stories are more than entertainment. They are proof that love is real, that sacrifice matters, that ordinary people carry extraordinary strength. Your support helps us keep telling them. Subscribe, and let us know in the comments where you're watching from. The first month was bearable. That was the word Zara would use later, when she looked back. Bearable. Not good, not warm, but bearable. Ethan's mother had welcomed her into the family house with a smile that sat slightly wrong on her face. Too wide, too practiced, the kind of smile that does not reach the eyes. His sister, Amara, had been polite in the way that costs nothing. Surface politeness. The kind that evaporates the moment circumstances shift. Zara told herself she was imagining it. She was not imagining it. By the second month, the smiles were gone. It started small, the way these things always do. She was asked to cook. Fine. She was asked to clean. Fine. She was given the smallest room, the one at the back where the window faced a wall and the air barely moved. Fine. She told herself it was temporary. Ethan would send for her soon. This was just waiting. She was good at waiting. But waiting has a cost nobody talks about. The first time Ethan's mother spoke to her like she was hired help, Zara's stomach turned. She said nothing. The second time, she swallowed it with her morning tea. By the 10th time, she had stopped counting. "You think because Ethan married you, you are something?" His mother said one afternoon, not even looking up from what she was doing. "You are nothing. A roadside cook with no family, no land, nothing. He felt sorry for you. That is all." Zara set down what she was holding, walked to her room, closed the door, sat on the edge of the narrow bed, and did not cry, because crying meant they had broken something. And she refused, absolutely refused, to be broken. 3 months after Ethan left, the first transfer arrived. Zara knew it was coming because he had called her, his voice bright with pride across the crackling line. "I sent money, Zara. Enough for food, for your upkeep. Tell Mama to give it to you." She went to his mother. His mother looked at her with calm, flat eyes. There was no transfer. Zara blinked. "He told me himself. He called me this morning. I said there was no transfer." A pause, loaded and deliberate. "Are you calling me a liar in my own house?" Silence. Zara looked at the woman's dress, new, expensive, bought recently. She looked at Amara in the background, pretending to be busy, wearing shoes Zara had never seen before. She understood everything in that moment. All of it. At once. And there was absolutely nothing she could do. When Ethan called that evening, she almost told him. The words were right there, pressing against the inside of her throat. "They are stealing from us. Your mother took the money. I am hungry, Ethan. I am so tired." But then he spoke first. "Zara, how are you? Mama said you're doing well. She said you seem happy." The room tilted slightly. "Mama said you seem happy." They were feeding him words. Carefully selected, deliberately false words, dropped into his ears like medicine, keeping him calm, keeping him focused, keeping him away. If she told him the truth now, he would panic. He might come back before he had built anything. Everything she had sacrificed, the land, the hunger, the months of swallowing silence, all of it would collapse. So she did the hardest thing she had ever done. She smiled into the phone. "I'm fine," she said softly. "Focus on yourself." "I'm fine." The lie tasted like ash. But she swallowed that too. The months that followed were the darkest of Zara's life. She ate what was left after everyone else had finished. She worked the house from morning until her back ached. She was talked over, talked down to, dismissed and diminished until some days she stood in front of the small cracked mirror in her room and barely recognized the face looking back. The woman in the mirror was thinner, quieter, hollowed in places that used to be full. But deep in her eyes, if you looked carefully enough, something still burned. Small, stubborn, refusing to go out. One morning, Zara packed a bag. Not everything, just enough. She set it by the door of her room, sat down beside it, and made herself a promise. One more day, she said to herself. I will give it one more day. She did not know that somewhere, on a plane cutting through clouds above the ocean, Ethan was already on his way home. You are nobody. The words landed like a slap across the face of a sleeping woman. You hear me? Nobody. Ethan left you here because he was done with you. The money he sends? That is for this family. Not for a stray he picked up from the roadside. Ethan's mother stood in the middle of the sitting room, arms folded, chin lifted. Behind her, his sister Amara leaned against the doorframe, wearing a dress that cost more than Zara had eaten in the past 2 weeks. Zara did not move. She stood barefoot on the cold floor, her hands at her sides, her face completely still. Her bag was already packed. This was the last day. She had decided. She opened her mouth to respond. For the first time in months, she was going to respond when the front door opened. Nobody knocked. The man who walked in was dressed simply. No announcement. No dramatic entrance. Just a man stepping through a doorway into a house that used to be his home. But everything about him was different. The way he carried himself. The stillness in his eyes. The quiet that surrounded him like a second skin. The quiet of a man who had been through fire and come out the other side knowing exactly who he was. Ethan. Amara straightened instantly. His mother's arms dropped from their fold. The performance of cruelty dissolved in seconds, replaced by wide smiles and rushing feet. Ethan! You're back! Why didn't you tell us? Don't. One word. Quiet. Absolute. They froze. His eyes had moved past them both. They had found Zara, standing barefoot in the center of the room, thinner than he remembered, still as stone, with dark circles beneath her eyes that hadn't been there when he left. He crossed the room in 6 steps. He stood in front of her and looked at her face, really looked. The way you look at something precious you left in someone else's care and are only now seeing what they did to it. His jaw tightened. Zara, he said softly. She said nothing. Her eyes were filling despite herself, despite every wall she had carefully built. I see you, he said. Just that. I see you. She broke. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Just quietly. The way a person breaks when they have been holding themselves together for so long that one gentle word undoes everything. He caught her. What happened next, the family would remember for the rest of their lives. Ethan stepped back into the center of the room. His mother was already composing herself, already preparing the performance, the warm voice, the explanations, the redirections. He spoke before she could begin. How much did you take? Silence. Every transfer. Every month. For over a year. His voice did not rise. It didn't need to. I have the records. Every single one. His mother's mouth opened. I want you to understand something. He looked between them slowly. While you were taking that money, she was starving. While you were buying new clothes and new shoes, she was eating whatever you left behind. While you were telling me she was happy, his voice finally broke, just slightly, just at the edge. She was disappearing. The room was completely silent. We were just keeping. Stop. He turned to his mother fully. I built something while I was away. Something real. I came back with the intention of sharing it with my family. A pause that lasted a long time. You are no longer my family. His mother's face crumpled. Ethan, please. I will make sure you are provided for, he continued quietly. Because that is the kind of man Zara raised me to be. But you will not be part of my life. He turned away. He walked back to Zara. The house he took her to was finished. Every room, every wall, every window facing the right direction to catch the morning light. She stood in the doorway and couldn't speak. You built this, she finally whispered. No, he said. You built this. I just held the bricks. Zara stepped inside slowly, her hand trailing along the wall. Outside, the world continued, noise, movement, life rushing forward. But in here it was quiet. For the first time in longer than she could remember, Zara felt something unfamiliar settle over her. Safety. She exhaled long, slow, complete. I don't know what to say, she admitted. Ethan stood behind her. Then don't say anything. Just stay. She nodded. She was already home.